Hi students, I'm here to discuss the answer for the mains question from GS paper 1 from world history. The question was, bring out the socio-economic effects of the introduction of railways in different countries of the world. This was the third question in GS paper 1, it was from world history. The question was to be answered in 150 words, meaning it was a 10 marker. Now UPSC is trying to ask about the socio-economic effects of the introduction of railways in different countries across the world. These should be the key words in the question, but the most important word is the tail word, that is bring out. To bring out is to emphasize something. And what are we going to emphasize in the answer? The socio-economic effects of the introduction of railways across the world. The introduction should be kept really simple for this answer. You can say in the introduction that the inventions of John Blenkinsop and George Stephenson made railways possible. For the first time in the world. So that's just a single sentence. You can follow that with a fact telling that the first operational railway in the world was established between Stockton and Darlington in Britain. That happened in the year 1825. It was a small feat for mankind, but a great step in the right direction because the introduction of railways had far-reaching repercussions on the world. So long-term effects were seen due to the introduction of railways in Britain. Now we are going to see the effects from the perspective of society and economy. That is what UPSC is trying to ask. So in the body, we'll divide the content between the social effects and economic effects. So what were the social effects due to the introduction of railways in various countries? You can simply say railways provided cheap, fast and reliable transport. The availability of such a mode of transport resulted in easy availability of goods, which made life comfortable. So the introduction of railways from a social perspective had made goods available to a greater extent and made the life comfortable. The second point that you can mention is that railways connected places, people, cultures and ideas. They removed social barriers because different kind of people could travel in the railways. They forgot all their social barriers, and this led to increased unity among people, the feeling of goodness among the people. People could also travel far and get educated. So you can also say railways made education accessible. So due to increased unity among the people, education getting accessible, rationality increased, and that ultimately resulted in rise of nationalistic sentiments. Now, while providing these facts to support your answer, you can also give relevant examples. For example, for the first point, railways making life comfortable, you can provide the example of various European countries. Examples can be Britain, France, Russia. Rise of nationalistic sentiments, increase unity among the people. You can give the example of colonized territories or the third world. Classic example would be that of India. And you can add a third point from the social perspective. That would be historically human settlements developed along rivers, but due to the introduction of railways, human settlements started developing along railroads. But there was a problem. We can also highlight a negative effect through this problem. Such settlements essentially were slums, at least originally. The emergence of slums due to railway construction resulted in poor hygienic conditions, which created health problems in the future, particularly in the third world countries. Examples would be Asian and African countries. So that sums up social effects of the railways. Now we will focus upon the economic effects. Under economic effects, you can say that the coming of railways revolutionized freight and passenger transport. Goods and people could be transported at much faster rates as well as at cheap prices. So you can say railways accelerated the industrial revolution in various countries, particularly in Western European countries, because goods could be easily moved between the sources of raw materials, industrial cities, and in turn the markets. And railways also resulted in urbanization. For example, many important railway junctions in the world became urban centers. One example would be Chicago in USA, which was essentially a railway junction which later developed into a great city. We can also add that railway construction initiated industrial revolution in many countries. Examples would be Russia and Germany. If you want, you can even mention the names of the railways. In Russia, we had Trans-Caspian Railway, we had Trans-Siberian Railway. We can also add that railway construction boosted various industries. For example, mining, iron and steel, engineering industries were boosted due to railway construction. This led to increased employment opportunities in such sectors. And the new employment opportunities resulted in the emergence of working class or the proletariat. And the coming of the working class and their sufferings due to exploitation by the capitalistic class resulted in ideologies such as communism and socialism. You can add that the expansion of railways led to expansion of territories and trade in many countries. Classic example would be that of USA. USA में westward expansion of trade and commerce happened because of railways. The expansion of railways in the colonies, that is the third world, resulted in expansion and consolidation of colonial empires. Again, you can quote the example of India. Now, what was the effect, economic effect of the expansion and consolidation of colonial empires? For example, in India, there was an increase in drain of wealth because railway was seen as an avenue for investment for which the Britishers and the British capitalists were guaranteed returns. 5-6 effects, socio-economic effects will do, and in the conclusion part, you can say that railways had revolutionized human history, and hence railways can be called as one of the important pillars of modern world. But on the other hand, railway construction, expansion of railways was beneficial to colonial powers because they increased the sufferings of the third world, both socially and economically. Towards the end, you can mention that today railways play an important role in nation building. For example, the construction of metros and high-speed rails. They do definitely play an important role in nation building. And you can also say that railways are of geopolitical significance. For example, you can quote Belt and Road Initiative of China. So this is how you are supposed to answer this question. Depending upon the word limit, you can shorten or lengthen the answer. But these points will form the core of your answer. Thank you.